What's going on, guys? Please let me know if you can hear me.
Good day and welcome to the Bionano Genomics conference call announcing its acquisition of BioDiscovery. Today's conference is being recorded. At this time, I would like to turn the conference over to Amy Conrad from Investor Relations. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Army, and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Bionano Genomics conference call, where we will be discussing the acquisition of BioDiscovery. Leading the call today is Dr. Eric Holmlin, CEO of Bionano. He is joined by Chris Stewart, CFO of Bionano, Rich Shippey, CDO of Bionano, and Dr. Soheil Shams, CEO of BioDiscovery, who are available for questions. This morning, Bionano issued a press release announcing the BioDiscovery transaction. A copy of the release can be found on the Investor Relations page of the company's website. I would like to remind everyone that certain statements made during this conference call may be forward-looking, including statements about Bionano's strategic and commercialization plans, sales pipeline, anticipated benefits or improvements to the Saphyr system, anticipated milestones for 2021, and the advantages of the Saphyr system over current technologies, our expectations regarding timing and content of study results and anticipated benefits of these studies in driving adoption of the Saphyr system. Such forward-looking statements are based upon current expectations, and there can be no assurances that the results contemplated in these statements will be realized. Actual results may differ materially from such statements due to a number of factors and risks, some of which are identified in Bionano's press release and Bionano's reports filed with the SEC. These forward-looking statements are based on information available to Bionano today, and the company assumes no obligation to update statements as circumstances change. An audio recording and webcast replay for today's conference call will also be available online in the Investors section of the company's website. With that, I will turn the call over to Eric.
Oh, thank you, Amy, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming together on such short notice. Today is really an incredible day for Bionano, and we believe for everyone in the genomics field. We have entered into a material definitive agreement with BioDiscovery, which is a best-in-class software company, to acquire them with the goal of creating what we believe can become the most comprehensive variant analysis platform in genomics. I'm incredibly excited to be here with members of my team to talk to you about the acquisition, but also to be joined this morning by Dr. Soheil Shams, who's the founder and CEO of BioDiscovery. Soheil?
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, everyone. I'm very excited to be here.
Fantastic. So as you know, we believe the next wave of big biology and value creation in genomics will be driven by structural variation analysis. We also believe an essential component of that expansion is the integration of genome structure analysis with sequence variant analysis. The BioDiscovery acquisition moves us significantly closer to realizing this vision by creating what we believe will be the most comprehensive variant analysis platform in the field. Now, we believe this transaction is key to accelerating our efforts to drive adoption of optical genome mapping, which, as you know, we refer to as OGM. We believe it will simplify the data analysis process, reduce the overall interpretation time per sample, and effectively increase our reach into the discovery and translational research markets, where the combination of next-generation sequencing and optical genome mapping can reveal more answers. In the future state, once optical genome mapping has been fully incorporated into BioDiscovery's NX clinical platform, we will be able to offer a powerful solution for genome variant analysis in a single window. BioDiscovery enables us at Bionano to provide our customers with a powerful solution for data analysis that goes well beyond just accelerating adoption of optical genome mapping. This integration into software has the potential to transform Bionano Genomics from an OGM solutions provider into a broader genomics data solutions provider with the most comprehensive platform for genome analysis that can integrate most of the data types that are used in the field today. Now let me introduce you a little bit BioDiscovery. The company is based in California, just north of San Diego and El Segundo by LAX. The company was founded by Dr. Sohail Shams, who, as you know, now is here on the call with us today. We are really excited that Dr. Shams will join the Bionano management team as our Chief Informatics Officer going forward. And he will continue to drive the BioDiscovery business with our support. And to complement the great people at BioDiscovery, they have also built a very powerful business with hundreds of software customers globally using their best-in-class software for CNV analysis, which we believe will expand our reach of OGM more broadly. 2020 revenues for BioDiscovery were $3.6 million, and the company was profitable. Now here I'm summarizing for you a snapshot of BioDiscovery's products, the NX Clinical and Nexus Copy Number software solutions. Nexus Copy Number is a platform for CNV analysis and really the original for translating microarray data into a useful format. That was a big part of driving the movement from microscopes to microarrays in cytogenetics, resulting eventually in changes to medical guidelines elevating microarrays to a first-line analytical tool. And something that you should know is that Dr. Alcachabe, our Chief Medical Officer, and Rich Shippey, our Chief Business Officer, worked together with Sohail at that time during that process. And so there is a long history between the people involved in this transaction. Now, the NX Clinical product is BioDiscovery's current flagship. It builds on the CNV analysis of Nexus Copy Number by incorporating next-generation sequencing data. It's the only platform-agnostic data interpretation and reporting software that fully and seamlessly integrates NGS and microarray data to provide visualization of single nucleotide variants, copy number variants, and absence of heterozygosity across the genome for a fully integrated view, including database functionality for annotation and reporting. That's why users of NX Clinical are so excited by it, and they recognize that Sohail is a visionary in connecting the questions that they're asking with the answers that come from the samples. We've been working with Sohail and his incredibly talented team for some time now to go through the process of adding optical genome mapping data to NX Clinical. That's an ongoing process, and we believe this acquisition will accelerate it and allow us to do much, much more. And so when we look at today's laboratory environment, we recognize that software is the critical interface. Software is the window through which the results of all the incredible technology in genomics are viewed. Software really is the last mile. It touches every aspect of the value proposition. We know that powerful software can create a seamless workflow to make obtaining genomic data fast, easy, and affordable. In today's genomics workflow, one simple solution doesn't exist, and we are really pleased to take on this challenge of helping researchers and clinicians integrate their data types across the full scope of genome analysis to get the answers they seek. We believe this transaction enables us to create a powerful new platform for genomics. Optical genome mapping is our proprietary data type, but the clinical research lab desires integration across platforms. And this BioDiscovery software capability is that vehicle for such integration. I want to talk a little bit here about the integration plan and the new operational structure. As I mentioned, Soheil will become the Chief Informatics Officer of Bionano. The existing location for BioDiscovery will become one of our key software development hubs. And Soheil will continue to play a major role in running BioDiscovery, but spread his wings across all of our software development and bioinformatics teams at Bionano. The goal of the integration plan is really twofold: to drive the structural variation analysis capabilities of optical genome mapping into the NX Clinical platform, and then to continue to support BioDiscovery's current users and to support the company in continuing to grow their business. And these are big goals that we believe we can accomplish together with this world-class team, combined with the group that has been developing our solutions at Bionano so incredibly powerfully for many years now. So lastly, I want to kind of summarize how we are approaching the integration process over time. As you can see, we've been working with NX Clinical and Soheil and his team to feature optical genome mapping, and we expect to have OGM integrated into a commercially available version of NX Clinical soon. This is going to be a stepwise process. Sometime in the first quarter of 2022, we'll roll out a version of NX Clinical that will feature some aspects of optical genome mapping, and then we will continue working closely with that team to fully integrate the comprehensive structural variation detecting capabilities of OGM into NX Clinical over time. And when we've completed that process, we know that we were going to have really a first-in-class genomic solution. The process of enhancing and developing NX Clinical won't stop there, though, because we'll be focused on adding some of the additional data types that were summarized on one of the previous slides. For example, we are going to be expanding NX Clinical beyond just the optical genome mapping, but to be adding methylation. We also have a vision for incorporating gene expression analysis with RNA-seq data. And we even have our sights set on including proteomics data into this solution over time. And so you can see that our focus is not just on providing optical genome mapping solutions, but really transforming Bionano into a complete solutions provider around genomics data. And we know that that's the powerful solution that we can bring to users with a proprietary data type and a platform agnostic software solution. So at this point, I'll turn the call over to Chris to give him a chance to review some of the financial details of the transaction before we take your questions. Chris?
Thanks, Eric. I want to start by saying that I echo Eric's excitement to the acquisition, and I believe that the capabilities we are adding here can accelerate and broaden our market leadership in digital cytogenetics and comprehensive genome analysis. The transaction consideration will be up to $100 million, consisting of a combination of about 60% cash, 40% equity. A portion of the equity is subject to vesting based on continued service to key employees, and a portion of the cash is contingent on achieving full integration of OGM data into BioDiscovery's software platform. You can find additional details in our 8K filed this morning. The acquisition is expected to close before October 22nd of this year. BioDiscovery's 2020 revenue was about $3.6 million, and they are on track to grow this year. The acquisition is modestly accretive for Bionano, which will result in a small but positive impact on EPS. We're very pleased with the terms of the transaction and look forward to integrating the BioDiscovery team into Bionano. I'll now turn it back over to Eric for closing remarks. Eric?
Thanks, Chris. And I just want to close out by thanking Soheil for joining us on our journey to transform the way the world sees the genome. We strongly believe that our market, genomics, has the potential to do incredible good in the world. And through this process, we know we have found kindred spirits at BioDiscovery who will relentlessly drive to our end goal, which is to impact people's lives by elevating their health and wellness. And with that, operator, we are now ready to take your questions. Operator?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. If you are using a speakerphone, please make sure your mute function is turned off to allow your signal to reach our equipment. Again, press star 1 to ask a question. Your first question comes from the line of Sung Ji Nam of BTIG. Your line is open.
Great. Thank you for taking the questions and congrats on the transaction. Just a couple of quick ones from me. Could you maybe break down what the split is between, for BioDiscovery, what is the split between clinical versus discovery translational customers?
Well, the product is, a research use only product and used throughout the clinical research community. Having said that, the vast majority, 90% or more are focused on clinical translation applications.
Okay,
Through
got
an
it.
LDT
And then
type process.
Okay. And then just to confirm what the differentiating factor is for BioDiscovery, is the key differentiating factor the platform agnostic approach the platform has?
Yes. So the NX Clinical platform and its predecessor, Nexus Copy Number, provide a key function in the workflow, and that is to visualize the variants that are picked up by the instrument and its variant calling algorithms so that they can be visualized in the context of the whole genome. It provides a vehicle to interpretation through annotation with in connection with the database and the clinical literature, and then condenses all of that into a consistent reporting format. So our current tools through Access and Solve do the variant calling and provide visualization of the variants. But there's a fair amount of manual curating of the variant calls. And so the NX Clinical platform will automate that process. And then, as you point out, integrate our variant calls, offering the opportunity to visualize them and interpret them alongside sequence variants in a completely platform agnostic way.
Great. Thank you so much.
Your next question comes from the line of Jeffrey Cohen of Ladenburg Thalmann. Your line is open.
Oh, hi, Eric, Chris, and Rick. How are you?
Great. Hi, Jeff.
Great. So, congratulations on the transaction. I have two questions. I guess, firstly, so could you spend a minute or two and tell us a little bit about this Nexus Copy Number and what your plans are for it going forward?
Sure. Nexus Copy Number or NX Clinical, or both?
copy number.
NX Clinical, let's focus on NX Clinical, that's really the flagship.
Right.
That's really.
Because Nexus copy number is more of the legacy product, still used in the research application for cohort analysis. NX Clinical is our flagship product that's used across the globe in many clinical labs. And what was exactly the question? Sorry?
I think that was it. So my second question is, could you discuss a little bit about the process of pulling in historic data from Bionano and Eric, the operations and the data and the analysis from the researchers that's been collected over the past number of quarters? Would that be able to be integrated into the platform over time?
Yes, I mean, the fact that it is retrospective data, if we want to call it that, it's the data type, and so we need to build in that functionality to integrate the data type into the platform, and then any OGM data will be able to be visualized, interpreted, and reported through the NX Clinical platform.
Okay, got it. And then lastly, for us, could you talk about the pricing model and the number of users out there for the platform currently, the NX Clinical platform, and how's that working as far as pricing? Is it subscription-based, or how might that work?
Yes, the predominant go-to-market approach for NX Clinical is to sell end users a packet of analytic capabilities that is based on a per sample fee. So there would be a user would purchase a certificate or token that allows them to run a certain number of samples, and then the cost for that token is based on a per sample fee, and that can be in the tens of dollars per sample.
Okay, perfect. That does it for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tens of dollars.
Your next question comes from the line of Kevin Degeter of Oppenheimer. Your line is open.
Hey, Eric. Yeah, congrats on those transactions. Actually a really nice deal. Maybe just 3 questions. Sorry. Can you talk in a little bit more detail about the buy versus continue to collaborate decision here? I mean, you basically do have the only optical genome mapping platform. So from a data type standpoint, you were in a unique position that it may not be obvious why the acquisition was necessarily the only path forward for integrating the capability onto Nexus. And then maybe secondarily, can you quantify the overlap between some of the BioDiscovery customers and kind of potential tier A customers for Saphyr? I'm just trying to understand how many or kind of how we should think about where BioDiscovery is already in with a customer that the Saphyr may be an appropriate target for Saphyr in the coming years. And then just lastly, on a high level, it looks like the Nexus platform is primarily integrating machine learning kind of capability. I'm just kind of wondering to what extent do you think this platform is suitable as kind of a data standardization that would allow more kind of AI and deep learning capabilities within Bionano. And then maybe we'll follow.
Yeah, so I'll see if I can remember all of those, and I'm going to start from the very top, which is to say you're absolutely right. This is a build versus buy process, and we've been working with Soheil and his team for some time, and as I mentioned, the relationships go back many years. And through that process of working closely with them, it became clear to us that to bring Soheil and his team in-house was absolutely the right call, because it's not just providing a visualization, interpretation, and reporting solution for optical genome mapping, but it's really integrating optical genome mapping with the other data types. And while we recognize that Bionano can be incredibly successful and win by proliferating our system, the best solution for customers is to simplify their workflow and empower them to get the answers they seek. And that empowerment comes through the seamless integration of these data types. And so we really felt that to achieve that level of integration, which is empowerment for customers, we would do that better if we brought that team in-house. And so that was a big driver of the decision. Other factors are that we're not the only group that's seeking Soheil's time and attention. And so in order to ensure that optical genome mapping gets integrated and onto the market, we felt it was better to have a tighter connection to that team. And then lastly, I don't know what it's like in the a research analyst business or investment banking business, but talent in software development, bioinformatics is incredibly difficult to find. And Soheil has cultivated and curated a team of incredible software developers and computational biologists, bioinformatics scientists, customer support for software analytical tools that is really best in class in the industry. So putting all those things together, we felt that just building this through an OEM partnership would do justice to the value potential that was there. So that's the answer to the first question. I think with regard to the capabilities around AI and machine learning and all of the powerful skills, I mean, there's a tremendous overlap here, because our tools leverage those capabilities to search through the raw data and transformed and digitized data through our own process of variant calling. And those are our proprietary capabilities. And we believe that we can overlap that with the capabilities that exist within BioDiscovery to really build powerful tools that are cross-platform. And I'm pretty sure that this cross-platform idea is something that if you go talk with users, they're going to say is critically important to them, but is not being addressed for them. And so this is really a very powerful opportunity for us to bring those capabilities together, and we're going to leverage that both from our existing capability side within Bionano, which is world class, together with what Soheil has brought together. In terms of the overlap of our end users, it's meaningful, right? Meaningful double-digit percentage, but because Bionano has been evolving its install base from that basic research through translational research more over to that clinical research side and the folks that are developing LDTs, the overlap is increasing, but is not in any way like the majority of BioDiscovery or NX Clinical's installed base. And we're excited about that because we believe that the existing NX Clinical users will pull us in as our integration into that platform increases over time. So that's one of the reasons that we believe these steps will accelerate adoption of optical genome mapping on the way to building this incredibly powerful analytical platform. I hope I've covered your questions.
No, that's great, Eric. And then maybe just a follow-up. You did highlight the first half, I believe, 22 for integrating some aspects of the BioDiscovery capability, or some aspects of OGM into the BioDiscovery capability. Can you just characterize, what that first component of integration might include, and then how we might think about a timeline to potential full integration of the OGM capability into Nexus?
Yeah, so it's really about starting out with copy number variations, gains and losses, and adding them to the suite of tools, and importantly, enabling the visualization of those variant calls. So in a typical CNV analysis, the approach that the cytogenetics lab is taking is very, very visual. So it's important for them to analyze the variant calls on the scaffolding of the chromosomes. And so that's what NX Clinical does so incredibly well. So it's beginning to integrate our copy number variant calls into that visualization platform as we then build and go beyond just gains and losses and start to look at inversions, translocations, absence or loss of heterozygosity, and expand to really all of the structural variation calls that optical genome mapping takes. So that initial phase will be some visualization of the CNVs. Like we say, we're aiming to get that done in the first quarter of 2022. The full integration, we believe will take some time, and that will be a stepwise process, and there will be regular introductions of new capabilities. And we really have to sit down and think about how quickly we can get that done, but progress will certainly be made throughout 2022 on that process.
Great, thanks for taking my questions.
Your last question comes from the line of Michael Okunewitch of Maxim Group. Your line is open.
Hey guys, thanks for taking the question. Congratulations on the acquisition. So,
thank you, Michael.
I'd like to start off, I guess, a little broad and just see how this fits into the idea that Saphyr is not a competitor, but a complement to sequencing. And is this acquisition more about expanding your internal capabilities, or providing a robust tool to better enable that integration with other methods like NGS that provide different but also important data?
Yes and yes, Michael. It's all of the above. I mean, I think that when we started out in this process, we thought of ourselves as an optical genome mapping solution provider, which, as you point out, is highly complementary to all sequencing. We don't compete with sequencing. We encourage as much sequencing as possible because it gives us a chance to resolve the genome structure in those cases. But as an OGM solutions provider, we also recognize the incredible power of integrating the data types, and we also saw that customers were eagerly seeking that integration into a single window. And so the beginning was to really augment the capabilities of the Saphyr system. And I kind of realized in going through the slides and the commentary, I could have done a better job, and Sanji was very helpful in drawing out the kind of key differentiating factors. But it really is around this idea of interpretation and reporting, visualization, interpreting and reporting. We have great visualization capabilities. Those are going to overlap with the NX Clinical platform, but interpretation by querying databases, annotation, and providing a window into the significance of variant calls according to what's been reported in the literature. This is critical, and that's something that's done manually today, and the NX Clinical platform will shrink the time required to do that from, in some cases, if you have a lot of variants you've got to go through, it takes hours, right, to less than 20 minutes. It's incredibly fast. So adds this powerful interpretation and annotation capabilities, which we would have to build from the ground up. There are open source solutions out there, but they're not great. NX Clinical is great. It's the market leader. And then powerful reporting capabilities. So the interpretation and reporting is something that we don't have. We would have to leverage things that exist in the market. So building that out is key to being an OGM solutions provider, but then we recognize that the sort of second part of your question or comment is that, the real value in this market is connecting all of those data types together to generate answers on the next level. And so that's what has really gotten us very excited about transforming the company into a broad genomics solutions provider with a proprietary data type. And we've seen this in other industries. When we look across industries, we see this, and we think that Netflix is an example of this, right? It's possible to view a host of content generated from a variety of sources in Netflix, but Netflix is the only home for Netflix originals. And so, that's an analogy that we apply to this way of thinking. And of course, the original content that we're providing through OGM is incredibly powerful. It's taking off. Everybody is super excited about it. But think about providing that through a platform that envelops all data types and makes all data types accessible in the context of OGM. We believe that that's just incredibly powerful and enabling for the market.
So I'd also like to touch on that, just because when you say that, you could sorry, I lost my train of thought here. What I'm trying to ask is, does the added integration and the ease of integration, offering essentially all these platforms on the same digital analysis tool, further highlight the unique data that OGM offers?
Yes, without a doubt, because the process of genome analysis often involves drilling down on a data set until you hit a brick wall, then transferring over to a different platform, drilling down until you hit a brick wall, and so forth. And so by having all the data types consolidated, the process itself is streamlined. But now having the optical genome mapping data type right there next to sequencing variants really enhances the sort of interplay between the two data types, and as you can imagine, creates insights that really couldn't be obtained, would be less likely to be obtained if you had to look at the two data types separately. Looking at them together, seeing a sequence variant inside a structural variant at the same time is an insight that you wouldn't be able to get as easily without the integration. So we really do believe that there's an enhancement in the value of optical genome mapping by having it integrated, and this is going to drive adoption throughout clinical translational research, where the value proposition is to add an incremental data type to sequencing. And let's face it, that sort of sounds like more work to researchers. Well, we're simplifying the more work and creating the value by putting the two data types together. I think that probably wraps us up. So I appreciate everybody's time and joining the call. And with that, I'll turn it back over to the operator.
I'm showing no further questions at this time. I would now like to turn the conference back to Dr. Eric Holman. Please go ahead.
Great. Well, like I said, thank you everybody for joining. Please stay tuned. We'll have a chance to update you more when we give our next earnings call. And this is a very exciting day for us, and we couldn't be happier to welcome Soheil and the BioDiscovery team to Bionano. Thank you very much.
This concludes today's conference call. Thank you for participating. You may now disconnect.
What's going on, investors? What's up, guys? Let me know. Please introduce yourself in the comment section. Let me know what you guys, who is online, who is with me. So I made some notes. I would like to share it with you guys. So please let me know. Bad from what's up? What's up? What's up? Rene, are you still there? Or have you left? So that was an amazing conference call, guys. I mean, I have learned a lot about, until today. Yesterday, we listened to it together on this channel. I was live streaming what was going on yesterday, but I couldn't, understand a lot of things yesterday. But today, after listening to this conference call, once again, it's about 40 minutes. I have learned a lot of things, guys. I mean, now I understand why Bionano Genomics acquires BioDiscovery and why Bionano Genomics, why Bionano Genomics is going after BioDiscovery and what their mission is. Now I understand everything more or less, after listening to the CEO of BioGenomics, once again, Dr. Eric Holman, explaining why they are acquiring BioDiscovery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my best to, I made some notes and I will try my best to share it with you guys once again. I was making videos last week I was making some videos talking about the FDA approval, why I think Bionano Genomics should, go for the FDA approval, why I think Bionano Genomics, why I thought Bionano Genomics was, they were employing a lot of people, okay? Then I thought they were going for FDA approval, but now I think I understand what is going on, okay? Now, for now, we don't need FDA approval anymore. We have BioDiscovery, right? And Bionano Genomics is trying to, I think they are trying to be like, let's think of it like a television, okay? Whereby you have all your streaming services. You have your Netflix, you have your Disney Plus, you have your Hulu, you have your YouTube. So they are trying to be the TV, the television that, other researchers, clinicians can come to have access to all of these, services, for example. So that's why I believe they acquired this company, BioDiscovery. They are going after the software of BioDiscovery, the NX clinical platform. That is what Bionano Genomics is going after, okay? And this platform is very, very critical, it's very important. And the good news is BioDiscovery is already a profitable company, okay? So if we are able to capture their platform, integrate it with, the Sapphire device, the OGM platform, the Sapphire platform, and then we can, have access to these customers from BioDiscovery, for example. They have about 2,000 plus customers already because it's a profitable business. They are existing in over 30 countries. So if we have access to this platform, according to the CEO, he said that there is a possibility that we are going to have our Sapphires installed in all of their customers, laboratories, for example. If they have 2,000 plus customers, this opens the window, the door for Bionano Genomics to go after about 2,000 customers, guys. This is huge. I mean, I'm trying to say this as calm as possible. You guys know that I'm always hyped whenever I'm, talking to you guys on this channel. I'm trying to be as calm as possible. We are talking about 2,000 customer base from BioDiscovery, and that is a great opportunity for Bionano Genomics to install about 2,000 plus Sapphire devices, okay? And another thing is Bionano CEO, he also said that the reason why they are, they are not trying to, they are trying to acquire the company, and retain the services that they already have, that BioDiscovery already has, to retain their services, their platform, is because they believe that customers they don't just want, to have They want all in one place. Okay, they want a place whereby they can go to and have access to everything. They want access to data from, for example, if a customer is using Nova 6000 from Illumina, and they are using to sequence a DNA, and then they are using Bionano Genomics Sapphire for optical genome mapping. There is the best thing for this customer is to have one platform whereby one software whereby they can just go to and they can put their sample in this device, and then the result comes in, it comes out from one device, which of course is the NX Clinical platform. Okay, that's what I believe the CEO is trying to say, that customers want a platform that is very easy, that is going to make their work easier. They don't want to go to Illumina and get this result, go to Bionano Genomics, get this result, and start to try to compare all these things together. That is the function of the NX Clinical platform. It's going to help, it's going to simplify the work of the result of the researches that all these customers are making. Now, another thing that I hope I explained that clearly, guys. Another thing that I also noticed from another good point that the CEO also made is about machine learning, artificial intelligence, and deep learning. Okay, some of the analysts asked the question that that the CEO should try and explain more about the machine learning, the deep learning, and what Dr. Eric said is that BioDiscovery has managed to build a very strong software team, software engineering team. Okay, and he believes that the NX Clinical platform, was well built, and that is one of the reasons why they are going after them. Like I made a video yesterday telling you guys that Bionano Genomics is trying to become a software company. That's how I think this software opportunity, the advantage of acquiring BioDiscovery is going to, is going to give Bionano Genomics this the access to this great opportunity. They are going to have strong software team because BioDiscovery software engineers are coming to Bionano Genomics. So another thing is I already made mention of seamless integration. Customers are going to benefit from seamless integration from the software, from the NS Clinical platform, where they can have access to, data from Bionano Genomics, OGM, have access to data from Illumina, and this and that. So, and I already made mention of our NS Clinical platform, how it's going to help Bionano Genomics to make more sales, because BioDiscovery they exist in over 30 countries, and they have over 2,000 customers already. So those are the things that I am looking at. Okay, I am looking at the sales of the Sapphire device. How is this acquisition of BioDiscovery going to help Bionano Genomics to sell more Sapphire devices? Because that's more or less what most of us are interested in, so that at least the company can keep making money, and it can help the stock price of Bionano Genomics to rise. If we make more money from this acquisition, it means it's going to help the stock price. So what else? More Sapphire sales. I already mentioned that. So more Sapphire sales, because we are going to have access to their customers, and customers, of course, they want a seamless integration. They want to be able to have access to everything all in one. So that's what Bionano Genomics is going after, guys. They want to become a software platform. Okay, because according to the CEO, he said that some customers, they are finding it difficult to use the Sapphire platform. Okay, they are finding it difficult to use the Sapphire platform. So that's why they believe if they go after a company like BioDiscovery, acquire it, is going to help their customers, those that are already using the Sapphire platform. Perhaps they are going to find it easier to be able to use the NX Clinical platform instead of the Sapphire platform. Something like that, he said. And yeah, so what else can I touch? I think that's all I have for you guys. I'm still going to go deep into all this, my notes, and I'll go deep into all these topics, and I'll try my best to put a video together where I'm going to be explaining it better, to you guys. So, and also he made mention of something like Netflix original, okay? Because if you go on Netflix, you can find some movies that are Netflix originals, okay? Like the Squid Game, for example. Those kind of movies, you cannot find it on any other platform, like Disney Plus, for example. You can only find them on Netflix. So that's what they are trying to do. They are trying to make sure that those data that are already available on NX Clinical platform, that the customers of NX Clinical platform, customer of BioDiscovery, they already have access to, those data are going to, more or less be like original data, just like Netflix original, something that you can only find on this platform. Of course, now it's going to be on Bionano Genomics platform. So, and also BioDiscovery, they already have some customers, not only they have some customers from I think what's the name of these companies? I shared something yesterday, some of their customers. Let me see if I can quickly pull it up. Okay, I shared some information with you guys yesterday about BioDiscovery. I'll try to pull it up as fast as possible, guys. Okay, I shared some information with you guys, and just a second. I'm still gonna be talking about the stock price, guys. So just please stay with me. We are still going to take a look at the market because I want to share some, some stocks with you guys as well on this live stream. So this is BioDiscovery. If you go there, you can find, if you go to their customers, I think it's somewhere down there. Okay, so these are the people that BioDiscovery work with. Okay, who we work with. They are working with Invite, for example. So all these laboratories, university, hospitals, clinics that are already using the NX clinical platform, okay, now they are going to be our customers. They are going to be the customers of Bionano Genomics, which means we are going to be bringing in more money, okay? So that's what I'm trying to say. Now, this more or less like Netflix original. If you want to have access to all of these things that they already have access to, or previously, now they have to go through Bionano Genomics cost. Right now, BioDiscovery is more or less like a Bionano Genomics company. And the thing is, the reason why they also acquired BioDiscovery is because Dr. Eric said that normally they would be using the service of BioDiscovery also, but they are not. They just want to acquire it because BioDiscovery has a lot of customers that are taking their time. Okay, so it's just better to buy everything all at once instead of BioDiscovery to be distracted by other customers. So that's more or less another reason why they acquired this company. So you guys can see, I mean, they already have their own customer base. They are profitable. This is going to bring us more money. Okay, we have more customers now. Lineage, Children's Mercy Clinical, and let me see if I can find something else on this website. Nexus. So this is they have two products. Okay, they have the Nexus copy number, the Nexus CN, and then they have the Nexus, the NX Clinical. Okay. This NX Clinical is, I believe, their strongest platform. You guys can see right here. I can't even. I'm trying to see if I can see a clearer picture of the NX Clinical software, but there is nothing here. Nothing is written here. So, and the Nexus copy number. This is the Nexus copy number. I'll just try and make this one. Let me disappear a little bit. This is the Nexus copy number, user-friendly and powerful statistical tool. This is what it looks like. If you take a look at this very well, guys, this looks more or less like the Sapphire interface. Okay, the Sapphire user interface. This cycle right here looks more or less like what we have from the Sapphire as well. So there is a possibility because BioDiscovery is a company that has been existing for almost 20 years, according to their information. If you take a look at this it looks more or less like Bionano Genomics has been working with BioDiscovery to build the Sapphire platform. There is a possibility, okay, because this looks more or less like what we see from the Sapphire. And let me see what else. Why Nexus copy number from NGS and microarray. So this Nexus copy number is I think that is the platform they are using for NGS and microarray. And powerful result statistic, blah blah blah. Let's go to the NX Clinical. This NX Clinical, why NX Clinical? First step is to dictate the CNV. So they are using NX Clinical for CNV on NGS and microarray data generated on any platform. Okay. Gold standard. NX Clinical is the gold standard for calling CNVs from NGS and microarray data generated on any platform. So if you are a clinician, for example, and you generated data from, let's say you are using the Nova 6000 from Illumina, and you generated a data, you can easily use NX Clinical, okay, to call that data, You can use NS Clinical to call data from Illumina. You can use it to call data from Bionano Genomics or from PacBio, and you have everything seamlessly, on one single platform whereby you can see what you are, looking for. Instead of you, just like the CEO said, getting to a wall and not, knowing your way, not being able to find your way. You can have everything, on one single platform. So that is why this company is very, very important. And that's why I believe Bionano Genomics acquired this company. And the thing is, they also have enough customers already. I'm trying to see if I can find where was that information located. Let me quickly pull it out from Bionano Genomics, because there is one very, very important information from Bionano Genomics. Yesterday they shared that information with us from their filings. I'm going to pull it out and show you guys, okay? So this is from the filings from yesterday, the Form 8K that they filed yesterday. So I'm going to go down. I want to show you guys something that is very, very critical, very, very important, for this acquisition. Because most of us are, wondering, why would Bionano Genomics spend that much money, that amount of 2000, so just a little bit more. So that is their revenue, 3.6, not this one. There is a very, very important information about their customer base, 100 million acquisition. Where did I find that information about their customer base, guys? I'm trying to remember where I saw that information about their customer base. About the customer base, okay. Maybe it's on Yahoo Finance. Let me see if I can find it on Yahoo Finance. I know yesterday it was, I found it somewhere yesterday. Maybe it's on Yahoo Finance 10 hours ago. I think it's from Globe Newswire. So let's check this one. Let's check Globe Newswire. Okay. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Globe Newswire. I'm trying to find where they they mentioned their user base. I spoke about it yesterday, but unfortunately I don't remember where I found that information. That's where they spoke about their user base, their 2,000 plus user base, and so on and so forth. Anyway, we are going to leave it. So all I know is that they have about 2,000 customers already that are using their platform, the NS Clinical, and the company has been existing for over 20 years. Look at that, for over 20 years. That's how long the company has been existing. I think maybe it's from the speech of Bionano Genomics, the CEO. Where is his quote? The CEO. Sham. This is Sham speaking. I can't find it, guys. I cannot find it. Anyway, we just have to leave it. We have to leave it like that. So anyway, let's take a look at the what's going on with BNGO right now. So we are now exactly at 1.5 billion US dollars, guys. 1.5 billion US dollars. That is the market cap, right now. I think the news is helping Bionano Genomics, positively. I mean, more or less this is plus. I would expect this kind of big news to help the stock price to rise, but we know that earnings is coming. Okay, we are going to be having the earnings call. I think it's going to be next month, towards the middle of next month, and the CEO is going to tell us how many Sapphires they have been able to install. But in my opinion, in this year, in 2021, this fourth quarter is the most important quarter for Bionano Genomics. Like I already shared with you guys, okay, I think this fourth quarter is the most important quarter because the first thing is we just acquired a software company. That's the first thing. And nobody even saw that coming. And the second one is that we are going to increase the throughput of the Sapphire device. The throughput is going to be increased. We are going to have the prototype, okay, in this quarter, according to the CEO. We are supposed to have the prototype of the 14-fold increment, We're supposed to have the prototype. The question now is, are we going to have a different Sapphire device, or are we still going to stick with the old Sapphire device? That is still not clear. I think the CEO is going to tell us more about that. I would love to see Bionano Genomics come out with another device, okay? I don't know. I already spoke about it in one of my videos, Sapphire 2.0 or 2.3, nobody knows. But I would love Bionano Genomics to have at least another Sapphire, another device. We have the Iris, we have the Sapphire. Perhaps we can at least come up with another device again. I don't know. Or maybe they are now focused, strictly on software, on the software side. Maybe that's why they acquired this company, for example. Maybe now they are just going to focus on the software. They're going to be working on the same Sapphire device, the same Iris. They will just be increasing the throughput of the devices, and they will be working, closely with BioDiscovery, to increase the, throughput of the Sapphire, and also to try and sell more Sapphire devices to these over 2,000, plus customers of BioDiscovery, because, that's a profitable business already, and we have to take advantage of their customer base because we need to install more Sapphire devices if we want to see this stock price, rise to over $10 once again. We need to install more Sapphire devices. One of my friends on Twitter, he said that there is a possibility that Bionano Genomics is going to announce over 150, Sapphire device installed, for this year, for 2021. And I mean, he's saying that this in the third quarter, he believes there's a possibility that Bionano Genomics is going to install more than 15 Sapphire devices. If they install more than, because now we have 121 devices installed, for this till 2021 second quarter, we have managed to install about 121 devices. So we have about 30 devices left because the CEO said his target is to have about 150. So if we are able to manage to, if we are able to install more than 15 Sapphire devices, for the third quarter, it means we have 15 Sapphire devices left for the fourth quarter. That means if we install at least 20 devices in the third quarter, that's going to take us closer to 150. It means we have about 10 left to get to that, goal of the CEO, the 150 devices. Then, if we are able to install more than 10 devices, let's say we install another 20 devices in the fourth quarter, then that's going to be 160 Sapphire devices, okay? If we are able to install more than 150 Sapphire devices till the end of this year, I think it's going to help the stock price. Now we just have to focus on sales, and sales, okay? Sales, installation. That's more or less what we have to focus on. Everything is going on fine for Bionano Genomics. I mean, the fundamental of the company is good, but you guys know that investors, okay, investors are always greedy. They want you to beat expectations. If you tell investors that you want to have if you say that you want to have 150 devices towards the end of the year, investors want to see you install 120, okay? If you install 150, they are just going to price everything in, because I think they have already priced in 150 devices. That's why the stock price is more or less doing what it has been doing. Look at that, for example. Look at the stock price, guys. I mean, we have more or less been consolidating for months, okay? There is a possibility that they have already priced in that, 150 devices cost. You guys can easily see what has been going on for months, even after the acquisition of the new business, which I believe, like I already shared with you guys yesterday, I believe the acquisition has increased our total addressable market, okay? Because normally, let me quickly pull that up. Maybe we can quickly discuss it. Let me see if hopefully I can find it. The total addressable market of Bionano Genomics. I hope I can find it. Investors. Corporate overview. Hopefully I can find it so I can share it with you guys. Okay. So I found it, guys. Now, if you take a look at the total addressable market, okay, I found it. If you take a look at the total addressable market, this used to be just about, look at that, guys. We believe Bionano is alone in addressing SVs and digital cytogenetics. So this is the old Bionano Genomics that we used to know, okay? Now this is the old one. This is where we are, occupying the comprehensive SVs and digital cyto. And if you go to the RNA, you cannot find Bionano in this section. So what we just did, by acquiring the BioDiscovery, in my opinion, is that we are more or less now in the middle, right in the middle. Okay, that is to say, if you want to have access, to OGM, the software that we just acquired, the NX clinical software from Discovery can access OGM. Now, if you want to access, data from Nanopore, from Thermo Fisher Scientific, from Illumina, for example, this software that we just acquired can have access to these three guys also. Now, if you want to have access to this side of the RNA, Nanopore, NanoString, 10x Genomics, for example, the customers of BioDiscovery, now they can have access. Of course, they already have access because of the NS Clinical to this side as well. So this is where the money is, according to Bionano Genomics, okay? According to what we have seen so far, this is where the money is, okay? This is where the NX clinical device is. We now have access to OGM, sequencing technology, RNA as well, 10x genomics, single cell analysis. That is a very, I don't know how to emphasize this, guys. I'm trying my best. So that is where Bionano Genomics, we used to be only in this area of the pie chart. Right now, we are at the middle with the acquisition that we just made. BioDiscovery has put BNGO right in this middle. Now, if you go down a little bit and you check out the total addressable market, this is something that I also think that the CEO needs to emphasize much more on. Okay, they need to tell us more about it. The CEO needs to talk more with investors about the total addressable market, in my opinion. Now, according to this is from the old, the investors relation corporate overview of Bionano Genomics. Okay, now the title says we estimate our market opportunity to be $2.6 billion to $3.8 billion based on selling as many as 10,000 Sapphire devices. Now, the acquisition, now that we have acquired BioDiscovery, I believe now the market opportunity has expanded. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys, okay? I believe the market opportunity has expanded. The total addressable market of Bionano Genomics has just expanded. Now, if you go down a little bit, we used to be here, and while we were here, the market opportunity was 2.6 billion to 3.8 billion US dollars, okay? Only here, right? Now that we are in this middle and we have access to all these things, or just let me say we are now everywhere strategically. We are everywhere because at the end of the day, this is all about customers, okay? Customers are the one using all these devices, okay? If we are able to, sell this software, if we are able to sell the software, the NS clinical software, for example, with OGM integration, with NGS integration, to customers that are more or less, instead of them to be using just Illumina, these customers can now have access to all this information. You guys understand what I'm trying to say? I think we are just at the beginning of something huge, okay? So the total addressable market, in my opinion, that is something that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be working on what the total addressable market of BioDiscovery is. I have to check it out. I have to work on it because it's a very, very complicated topic and nobody's talking about it. I think I'm the only person discussing this issue with you guys. I'm the only person talking about these things. Nobody's talking about these things. This is the total addressable market of cytogenetics, digital cytogenetics, 2,500 plus laboratories out there, and we have only managed to install just 121 Sapphire devices according to our report from the second quarter. We have 2,500 plus laboratories out there in terms of cytogenetics, and if you come to discovery research, we have 7,000 plus laboratories out there. So BioDiscovery is going to get us access to more laboratories than than we would normally have access to. That is a very good thing about it. And I think investors still don't understand the advantages of the acquisition of BioDiscovery, in my opinion. So I think this is look at that consumables, the devices, and now we have the software. So now they have to BioGenomics needs to go back to their drawing board, and they have to they have to edit this corporate overview of their business and try and update it, because now it is out of date. Okay, now we have BioDiscovery. They have to put it inside, in my opinion. They have to put more information, the total addressable market. I will be tweeting about it. Okay, I'm going to tweet about it and try to tag the CEO of Bionano Genomics that they should try to tell us more about the total addressable market during the next earnings call. We would love to know how big it is now. I mean, if it's still the 2.8 to 3.8 billion US dollars, or if it's now bigger than that. We have to know, because you guys know that software is much more powerful than all these old school methods that we are already using. So if you guys have any question, I think this is where I'm going to be ending this video. If you have any question, I have about 12 viewers now. I wanted to share some stocks with you guys, but I think I'll just skip that part and I'll skip that part and finish this video. Technically, BNGO is looking good. I mean, I don't see anything wrong. Sometimes when you are going up, you can also go up with some red candle. If you take a look at this very well, when we were coming down, sometimes it's red, green, but this thing was still going down. The trend was downward. So now the trend may be upward, but like today, for example, the candle is still red. So we just have to wait till closing. I mean, tomorrow perhaps we are going to open, somewhere around this level again, $5.5 US, and then next week. This is our target, guys. This 50 daily moving average right here, we need to get above it. We have to get above it. If not, it's not looking good, because this is the 200 daily moving average. And like I shared with you guys, it is a death cross. Okay, it's not good. It's a bearish pattern, death cross. We need to get above this 50 daily moving average. We have to see the 20 daily moving average above the 50 daily moving average as well, so that the trend can turn bullish. And then we need to see this 200 daily moving average needs to come down, and then we need to move above it. So I mean, I think that's all. You guys can see yesterday there was big volume because of the news. We saw that massive volume yesterday, but today the volume is not really as strong as it was yesterday. But everything is still looking good, in my opinion. I think we are still at the bottom of the trend, and we just need to consolidate and get above. We have to get away from this horrible downtrend, and hopefully we can once the trend turns bullish, I'm going to try and share more information with you guys. Let me see if I can find the Fibonacci. Okay, once the trend turns bullish, then we can talk about the Fibonacci extension. We can talk about the price targets, where we are expecting the price to go to next. Should, in case you guys want to, maybe some of you guys want to take profit, for example, like I told you guys, don't sell in loss. So we are going to see what's going to happen then. So I think that's all I want to share with you guys in this video. So have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you for joining me. I remain your boy Dayo. This is Frunkla Investment. Ciao, ciao.